You are listening to 89.1 FM KPVL Postville Decorah, streaming online at 891theblend.org. We are joined here by Mike from W.O.R.M on the phone here. Let's test this technology. I've literally been on two phones at the same time in the past 5 minutes. Mike, are you there?
Hey, how's it going?
Sweet. I think it's working.
Nice.
All right. So, Mike, grab my notebook here. You are from W.O.R.M. What can you tell us about W.O.R.M?
Oh, we're an industrial rock band, been around for the past at least decade, causing havoc all over the Midwest as much as possible and recruiting people for the new improved World Organization of the Righteous Movement.
Mm-hmm. And you're out of Chicago.
Yes.
Mike, who else is in W.O.R.M?
Right now, the present incarnation of the band, we have Dave Thomas and Jeremiah Ryan, both on drums. We have Kevin Lynch on bass, Mike Schuberg on rhythm and leads, and Mark Neerum on lead guitar. And we also now have the new recruits of Tina and Kim and Siobhan all on backing vocals.
Right on.
So it's quite a circus, I'll say that.
Yeah, I can imagine all those people on one stage.
Yeah, we need traffic control while we're up there, but it's more damage control than anything.
Right. So these are the members. What else was I going to ask? Oh, yeah. So give us some history on W.O.R.M. You say you've been around for at least a decade now.
Yeah, somehow. We've gone all over from, of course, we've been to the wonderful Decorah, Iowa, which is like a second home to us. We love going there.
Sweet.
And, gone through a couple places up in Wisconsin, Madison, which is also a definite second home to us.
Mm-hmm.
And only gotten to touch into Milwaukee a few times, but mainly just been trying to terrorize as much of the Chicagoland area as we possibly can.
Mm-hmm. Hitting up some favorite venues.
Favorite venues? Ooh, I would have to say, well, number one, Club Pyramid, definitely in Decorah. The first time we ever went there, we were driving through cornfields, and all of a sudden we found the Mecca, which was Club Pyramid, and we ended up having such a great time there that we've tried to come back. It hasn't been for a while, but
yeah, it's been a good 3-4 years. Yeah.
So when our friends from Ritual Fix got a hold of us and asked us to come back, we couldn't say no this time around.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been lying in wait until we had the perfect setup. So,
mm-hmm.
But definitely some other favorite clubs. The Frequency is always fun, and unfortunately the Clinic, which is gone now, that was always a fun, very small, intimate venue.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, Chicago is a cesspool. You can pick anything out there, and it doesn't really matter. So.
Right. Now, I seem to have a story from the Clinic. Funny story that I heard from our good friend Malone about. Yeah. You were dressed up as a Nazi?
Oh, that was our bass player. It was actually kind of funny. We were on tour we were promoting our last album, which was called Sins.
Mm-hmm.
And we were actually proving how different symbols only have power if people give them power.
Mm-hmm.
And the funniest part about the whole joke is our bass player had a authentic World War II Nazi armband that his grandfather stole off a Nazi soldier.
Mm-hmm.
And he thought it would be really funny to use it for the night as a prop, and we were going to use a whole big dramatic thing of destroying it and everything else. We never got that far with it. And the most funniest part about the whole story was our good friends from Flat Adam, their bass player Pete, come up to me right before we went on, and he said, the neo-Nazis are protesting here tomorrow. And I thought, well, this probably isn't a good idea. And then I thought, well, actually, it would probably cause a really big ruckus and a big stir, and it might be kind of fun. And then after it all went down, my bass player almost strangled me behind the venue, saying, why didn't I tell him anything? But by the end of the evening, it was actually a lot of fun, so we got a good talk and a good political debate out of everyone behind the club at the end of the night. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
that story never gets old.
Yeah, yeah. I heard that the other day, and I'm like, oh god, I got to put that on the show.
Yeah, it always comes back to us. I mean, when we went back to Madison a couple months ago, we were all laughing because it was the same day that the Democratic senators had come back to the town. It was the exact same day we were playing, and we were playing about a block away from the Capitol. And Nick from Flat Adam said, "How come every time you guys come here, it's always got to be something political?"
Did you have anyone in the crowd that recognized you? Oh, you're the Nazis.
Well, it's funny. Like every time we go back there, it seems like we've gathered a small following. And great, and thanks to our friends from Flat Adam, and they've always come out and support every time we've got back there. That story always—it's like some kind of folklore that always comes back to haunt us in one way. We always just chalk it up to good folklore, so that way it keeps the idea shrouded in mystery of the band. So
right, definitely a memorable moment.
Yes, yes. But I definitely have some with Malone too. I'll say that.
Yeah. Now, going with that, I've got more stories that I've collected. Emerald City, you did a song with Fix and Reverend Agony. You did Sexy Back live in Emerald City.
The good old boys for Reverend Agony, yes. That was a lot of fun. I also believe it was either that night or one of the following weeks that we did Relax by Frankie Goes to Hollywood with Witlord Fix.
Right.
We had a competition at one time to see who could do the worst cover tune, and we ended up coming back with Barbara O'Reilly by The Who. Which was right.
Well, that actually was pretty good. I remember, I think I vaguely remember you doing that at Pyramid, and then there was a YouTube video of it up.
It was fun. Malone was actually partially inspired for my new outfit that I've been wearing now for the past few years, because he always used to wear a red shirt and a black tie, so, you know, just so I could be a clone of him, I started dressing like that. It was a big joke between the two of us. That was a lot of fun.
Right. What can you tell us about the Chicago industrial scene? You're obviously a fixture of that, and you've got some favorite bands down in the area that you play with.
Yeah, it's actually been kind of strange over the past couple of years. I mean, unfortunately it's not as live and as vibrant as it was back in the days of Ministry and Front 242 and you know, of course, of Pigface and all that, Skinny Puppy. I mean, it's kind of gone the way of the dodo. But there's still a lot of really great bands. I mean, I was one of the cronies in a band called Project 44 for a little while, and there's a whole bunch of crazy bands that are down there that are just really great talent. That, I mean, the scene really just needs a jump start, which is all it really needs. We seem to, that's why we loved jumping on the chance of coming back to Decorah, because it's kind of interesting. You would think in a bigger city like Chicago, you would get more of a response. You get less of a response. You get more of a response when you go to the smaller outskirts of places where people are more appreciative, I believe, of live music. Out here, it's been kind of, I don't know, overplayed, I guess, in a way. People are just numb to it.
Yeah.
And with more people, you like in Illinois, when you go down to like Decatur and stuff, people are more susceptible of enjoying a good live show and getting into it and having fun than they are in Chicago, which is kind of sad. But on a good night, you get them drunk, they have a great time.
Get them drunk, put on some Closer by Nine Inch Nails.
Exactly.
It's great stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's always a lot of fun, you know. Just have a good drunken evening and just have some fun with it.
All right, let's take a quick music break. We'll have more stuff with you coming up in a minute. I want to put on Reptile by Nine Inch Nails.